வடில.
என்ன?
டேய், நான் இப்ப உனக்கு ஹோஸ்ட் கொடுத்துட்றேன்.
நான் ஹோஸ்ட்ல தானே சரி கொடுத்துரு.
யூடியூப் லைவ் விட்டேன் சரியா?
ம்.
அவங்க வந்தோடனே ரெக்கார்டை மட்டும் ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோ.
ஓகே.
ஹோஸ்ட் கொடுத்துட்டேனா?
கொடுத்துட்ட.
ஓகே பாய்.
Coupling principle, coupling principle, hold on, coupling principle, promoting cleaner and the maintainable design, no maintainable design. Interaction, use intermediator or abstraction, decouple classes. Use abstraction to decouple classes. Use abstraction
Hello, Miss Mona Savan. Welcome.
Hello.
Am I audible? Your backdrop is different, dear.
خليني أجيب المايك. Wait, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you. How are you doing?
Good. What about you?
Yeah, great. So did you register for that Energathon which I sent you?
Yes.
Okay, so our guest is logged in actually. Welcome, welcome to everyone. Welcome. Hello,
Thank you.
Vanakkam. Thank you so much, Shivalab Das ji. Thanks for joining us. We are still waiting for people to join, so they will be joining us very soon. By the time we have Mona Savan with us. Thank you. So it's so nice to have you here on this platform. Niranjan, should we send messages for people to join that we're here?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
From me, I'm Kabilan, ma'am. Here.
Okay. Thank you, Kapila. Miss Mona, would you like to change your backdrop? If you would like to, then I would share that in the chat box so that it's easy for you. I'm trying to do that now.
I adjusted, okay?
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
I have it in my Zoom. It's already
Exactly.
saved, yes.
Yeah, I can understand that. Seems like it will take another 5-10 minutes for people to join. Kapilan, please send a message in the group. No, I started a recording, not the YouTube live. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, Dr. Sri Parimala, ma'am. Which university are you representing? You're muted, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, good
Yes.
evening, ma'am. I'm Dr. Sri Parimala from Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, Tamil Nadu, ma'am, India.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So what I plan to do is I'll start the session. As people join, Niranjan or Kapilan, please let them in. Is that fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Because the chief guest has to go. We cannot. Yeah. Thank you. Please start the recording. Thank you so much. Good evening to one and all. It's a great pleasure in welcoming you all for yet another session of G20 International One Planet Cabinet. As we all know, week after week, we have been talking about different sustainability goals and the targets that are being set for 2030. On that note, every week we have been talking about sustainable developmental goals, which are otherwise known as global goals, which were adopted by United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to the nation to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030, all people enjoy peace and prosperity. The 17 SDGs are integrated and they recognize that action in one area will affect its outcomes in the other. That is, the development must be balanced with social, economic, and environmental sustainability. The countries have committed to prioritize the progress for those who are furthest behind, and the SDGs are designed to end poverty, hunger, AIDS, and discrimination against women and girls. And the creativity, know-how, the technology, and the financial resources from all over the society is necessary to achieve these SDGs in every context. That is why these SDGs are a collection of ambitious, interrelated, integrated targets that aim to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges, including poverty, inequality, climatic change, and environmental degradation. They are designed to be universal, meaning that they apply to all countries, to all the people, regardless of the level of development. So what is our motto to it? What is our contribution to that? Is that we create a planet and we collaborate with people and we contribute for the partnership and we catalyst for the change such that we are leading our communities with the pathways ahead. On that note, SDG International, with the SDGs in accord, G20 International One Planet Cabinet have 5 pieces as a vision for the sustainable development, that is people, prosperity, peace, partnership, and planet, with which are working towards the 17 SDG goals. That is moving ahead in this regard. That is no poverty. That is people. Which is SDG 1 is no poverty. SDG 2 is no hunger. SDG 3 is good health and well-being. SDG 4 is quality education. SDG 5 is gender equality. All these come under the category of people. Whereas the prosperity ahead, SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. SDG 8 is decent work and economic growth. SDG 9 is industry, innovation, infrastructure. SDG 10 is inequalities. And SDG 11 is about sustainable countries, communities. When we talk about prosperity, now we are moving ahead to the people part of it. When we talk about people, what is more important is that the culture, the fabric of the culture is very, very important. On that note, we are united on this platform one more time today, one other week, celebrating heritage, culture, and tourism with our presidency as a roadmap treasure boosting economy and ties, which is an equilibrium of the world economy fabric. On that note, we have joined with very eminent guests today. We will talk about culture. We are here for discussing that. But it's my allow me to introduce the guest for the day, Sri Vallabh Das, the head of ISKCON UAE. Thank you, sir. Thanks for having you amidst us today. ISKCON UAE is an organization that is deep-rooted in Vedic culture and inculcates faith in scriptures in people of all ages and groups to be dogged in that culture and openness to relish all cultures of the world with respect to the mindfulness. Also, is a financial professional living in Dubai for over 4 decades. So on that note, we would allow me to present our guest before you, Sri Vallabh Das. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Over to you. A warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Very happy to be here in this forum today of the G20 International One Planet Cabinet 2025. I think we are talking about culture here. And yes, I belong to the Vedic culture. And I belong to an organization that works on spreading Vedic culture. But we have a great need in the whole world to be able to respect each other's culture. I would use it more than the word tolerance. Many times the word tolerance is used. Tolerance, I see, is more something that it is something different, but I am tolerating it in one way. But then I would like to say that the best way to use here is how we can cherish each other's culture. Variegatedness in this world is important. There are more than 3,800 cultures worldwide. I come from India, which itself has got so many cultures in every state. And so you can imagine how many thousands are there in terms of variegatedness right in India. I think we all need to cherish our culture. We need to relish our culture, but we need to be also rooted in our culture. If we need to be civilized human beings, then we need to be cultured. So that's very important. Culture is a way of life. Culture is a way of bringing decorum into how we do things, not only looking at a futuristic way of how we manage it and how these days it's a potpourri of cultures. We learn from each other's culture. And while we have to respect and move on in life, there's a need for all of us to also respect the culture of our past, the culture from which we belong to, the culture, and most of the culture and the knowledge of the culture does not only come from understanding from our own parents and grandparents in the society, it also largely comes from the Vedic culture. In our case, it comes from our scriptures. So there's a need to understand cultures. There's a need for us to understand scriptures. There's a need in the whole world for people to understand and respect each other's cultures. People are going to be different. How to celebrate this diversity, how to respect each other's culture is something that's very important for all of us. And if we want to be a part of United Nations, we need to know how to celebrate this variegatedness in culture. That is very, very important. And so culture is a very important pillar for social cohesion, education, cultural preservation, education in terms of normal materialistic education as well. Every family, every individual has a responsibility to bring up his family with the culture that he has and to bring in the respect within culture. Where we have in the ecosystem, people working together, people that belong to different cultures working together, respecting each other, then there is this cultural diversity that makes things happen. We all know that even two brothers in the same family may not be having the same mood and vision and the same way of dealing with things. But when we see the whole world and various cultures, not just beyond a state, well beyond a country, beyond religions, beyond faith, beyond professions, and here it's a question of culture, of different strata of life, all that contributes to a country, contributes to the well-being of the entire world and a society. If we are doing trade, if we have cultural exchanges, all of this needs tolerance and recognition of each other's culture. We need to know, while following our culture, not to tread into the other's culture. As a person following the Vedic culture, we believe in ahimsa, non-violence. We believe in dharma, righteous duty. We believe in seva, selfless service, not doing something for something in return. We just believe that the Lord has given us this body, and our duty is to see that we serve humanity. We serve all the cultures. We teach people, reach out to people, bring them into a culture, make them civilized. The Shastras say that there's no room for somebody who is uncivilized to live within a community. So we are civilized. Though in the modern day and age, we see so many wars that happen, we see something that don't happen fine. But if we know how to tolerate each other, how to respect each other's culture, I think the whole world will develop. World will be peaceful with non-violence. And with that comes growth in trade, growth in cultural exchanges. In the olden days, I think they did it very, very well. Traveling from one place to another, learning about each other's culture. It is very important. I appeal to every one of the leaders assembled here today that they work on understanding their culture, as well respecting their own culture, as well respecting everybody's culture, and find ways by which we can bring these opportunities to exchange and know about each other's culture and respect every human being. And I would say, well beyond human beings, from the Vedic culture, we work on respecting every living entity, whether it be from the animal kingdom and bird kingdom, reptile kingdom. We respect everyone, and that's the way of life. Respect the soul. Respect the soul that is there in every one of us, because we are all creation of the same Lord. We may come from different cultures and we may look at the sun in a different way, but the sun is one. And let us all in that way look at how we can celebrate our cultural variegatedness. And that's my quick take from a Vedic cultural perspective. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to briefly speak to you. While I would like to listen to all your viewpoints, I had to just excuse myself because I'm getting into one other lecture right away. Please forgive me, but I'll definitely view the recording. And thank you, Srividya, and all of you wonderful G20 participants for culture. It's a wonderful thing. And I think this is my first time that I'm actually attending a session like this. Very inspired to attend more sessions. Thank you very, very much. Namaskar to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much for those inspirational start. Yes, Dr. Vasanthi Irina Williams, I am sure you want to say something. You're muted, ma'am.
Sir, you spoke so well about culture, mentioning how, presently people from various culture are working together, and that is the normal now. Unlike a few decades ago, where people of a particular culture would actually work in an organization. Now, the normal is quite different. And you touched upon how important culture is in every aspect of our life. You, in fact, made us reminisce, go back to how significant culture is in our daily lives. Thank you so much, sir. I'm so
Thank you
happy
so
to
much.
be part
Thank
of
you.
this.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Dr. Elena Bostwick, would you like to say something? 1 minute. Just to finish the start, just to finish the introduction. Dr. Elena.
Thank you.
Ma'am, are you-
Thank you very
yes.
much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Respected dear Srividya Sikamal, scientists, university professors, experts, ladies and gentlemen. I special
And
thanks for invitation, Dr. Srividya Sikamal, to be guest speaker and extended warm regards to be organizer this important virtual constant conference important in the world. My topic today, the impact of globalization process, the development of higher education. Globalization of education processes.
Thank you, Dr. Elena. Dr. Elena, just a minute. We'll come back to your topic later. We are just thanking the guest because he has to leave now.
Yes, a lecture is a professor is a very interesting special culture, very interesting for process culture and the process globalization. Process globalization in the world. A special, different culture, national, and important piece in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm sorry, dear professor. I now listen. Listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Srivalabhji. Thanks for giving your press time. And it is a very, I know it's in the very last minute. I would say it's 11th hour notice to you, but still you made it just for the sake of us. Thank you so much. Thanks for your precious presence and your precious time. Really, thank you so much. Thank you. Moving ahead with our topic. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Moving ahead with our topic. Today we are talking about culture. Exactly. So what is this culture? Where does it define from? Where does it emanate from? A culture, as our chief guest was mentioning, a culture can strengthen social cohesion, support education, encourage cultural diversity, and stimulate sustainable tourism as well. All of which would lead to a positive impact of sustainable development. So when we talk about that, what could be the 4 pillars of sustainable culture that we are talking about? Definitely human takes the first place. Social culture takes the second place, economic culture takes the third place, and environmental culture takes the fourth place. So these are the four pillars in which the culture is woven, integrated, interrelated with the sustainability culture that we're talking about. So when we practice and promote environmental and social responsibility in how we do business every day, to our partnerships of 1% of the planet or path to the pasture, or etc., whichever way that we take it, definitely culture plays a very integral part in defining our sustainable development. So it plays a central role in designing the organization of the progressive democratic system, or the sustainable development that we're talking about cannot be deemed as such without recognizing the pivotal role of the creative and the critical processes that are involved in it, which are deeply rooted in our social, economic, and political spheres. So leaving aside, we cannot compromise on the human development that hinges upon the unfettered expression of the culture and its vigor, permeating social coexistence. So, culture encompasses a system of thought, language, knowledge, values, heritage, and the arts through which the individuals, whether individually or collectively, manifest these through the humanity. So, it has its societal significance that extends beyond preserving the memory and constructing the individual with the pathways of community, religion, and the national identities. The culture represents as a very creative endeavor that enhances the human capacities to surmount challenges, navigate uncertainty, and leads us to the pathways envisioning the future. On that note, we are gathered today with all our speakers who are going to deliberate on different topics, that is a call to the nation, that is cultural diversity for the global economy, will be addressed by Dr. Preetha George. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome on the floor. Cultural rights for the global economy will be addressed by Ms. Mona Sawan and Dulum Delam and Jelena Boswick. Dr. Jelena Boswick. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. Culture and public policies in the global economy is still waiting. Cultural education for the global economy, culture in times of crisis for the global economy, and culture and climatic action for the global economy will be addressed by Dr. Sri Parimala ma'am. And last but not the least, the illicit trafficking of the cultural properties which vandalizes the global economy will be addressed by Jermaine Manazuli, who is yet to join, who is going to join us very soon. And re-return of the reinstitution of the cultural property with the creative economy and the digital transformation enhancing the global economy. With strategic directions, embracing the culture and the tourism enhancing will be addressed by Professor Charles Eboria. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Vasanthi Reena William, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. So on that note, may we take the forum to Ms. Neha, the host for today, the boss for today. Welcome. Let's all put our hands together to welcome Ms. Neha. Thank you, Ms. Neha. Thanks for joining us once again. So over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all the panelists, and good evening, Dr. Srividya ma'am, for giving yet another opportunity to meet for hosting the session. So, starting with the first speaker, Dr. Preetha Mary George. She is a distinguished academician with over 16 years of teaching experience and 7 years of research expertise. She is currently a professor in the Department of Physics at Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute University, where she also serves as the Dean of the Student Affairs for the first year engineering and technology students. Her research interest focuses on ultrasonic and water quality monitoring systems. Dr. Preetha has contributed to the academic literature, co-authoring a book on Bayesian reasoning and Gaussian process for machine learning. In addition to her academic achievements, she has provided effective guidance to the undergraduate and postgraduate students in their projects. A very passionate advocate for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. She has been the speaker on SDGs and coordinated virtual conferences such as Eigen Energython and Eigen Environmental-thon in 2023 and 2024. Let's all welcome ma'am for the today's session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Neha, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. And I'm very much thankful and grateful to educate Dr. Srividya, ma'am. Srividya, ma'am, for the first G20 one session, I was coordinating for the Eigen, if you remember. And this is the time when I got an opportunity to be as a speaker and for the today.
Warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Srividya ma'am. Can I share my slides?
Yes, you should be able to share. Yes, it's loading.
Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
We are able to see it, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I want to move the slide to the first slide. This is the last one. Yes, sir. Srividya ma'am, can we proceed, ma'am? I hope my screen is visible.
It's quite visible, and I think you can proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you. So the topic which I have chosen for today is the 1.5 degrees Celsius, the tipping point for our planet's future. So global warming. Global warming is one of the greatest challenge what we are facing today for our planet. And it is a long-term rise in the Earth's atmospheric temperature to the surface of the Earth due to the fossil fuels and the carbon dioxide gases and the greenhouse gases. In this context, global warming, the pre-industrial time refers to the period before the widespread usage of the transportation as well as the industry. That was nearly between the mid-century of 1850. To address this urgent crisis, nearly every nation came forward, and they have come together under the Paris Agreement with a bold target that to limit the global temperature and to not to rise the temperature above 1.5 degrees Celsius. So why this 1.5 degrees Celsius? What is the crucial point of this 1.5 degrees Celsius? And who have set this 1.5 as a threshold temperature? Because science tells us that the risk of the human nature and the climate, everything will change above the 1.5 degrees Celsius. And above 1.5 degrees Celsius, there will be a complete change in the nature, which will affect the floods, droughts, heat waves, wildfires, and etc. So 1.5 degrees Celsius, that is the tipping point for our planet's future. It is very significant temperature. This temperature has been identified by the Intergovernmental Panel on the Climate Change, IPCC, during the Paris Agreement, and it is a critical limit to avoid the most catastrophic impacts of the climate change. Crossing this boundary, it could lead to the irreversible ecosystem damage and frequent weather events, rising the sea levels, and the severe threats to human health, food security, and biodiversity. So in fact, if we look at what is happening around us, we can see that in 2024, there was a remarkable change in the climate, and we were moving towards the 1.5, above the 1.5 degrees Celsius. So as it touched 1.5 degrees Celsius, you can see that in 2024, we have faced the extreme devastating floods, relentless droughts, searing heat waves, and uncontrollable wildfires. So this is where we are now. And the pre-industrial times, before the pre-industrial times, human activities were very limited, and there was no much usage of the transportation and industry usage, so that we were limiting our lives to 1 degree Celsius. And during the 1850, mid-century of the 1850, we have started wild usage of the transportation. The usage of the transportation lead to the usage of the fossil fuels, and the usage of the fossil fuels lead to destroy the greenhouse effect. And now the temperature is tipping to 1.5 degrees Celsius. And the emissions are also rising. The carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, all the greenhouse gases are being severe increase in the temperature. So what is global warming? It is the increase of the average world temperature above the certain limit, and certain gases in the atmosphere acts like a glass in the greenhouse, allowing the sunlight through to heat the surface, but trapping the heat as it radiates back into the space. As the greenhouse gases builds up in the atmosphere, the earth gets hotter. And this process leads to a rapid change in the climate, which is known as the climate change. And as we all know that, and this is like global warming, greenhouse gas effect, all this, like we have studied at the 7th standard, 8th standard times. Greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. When the sun's energy reaches the Earth's surface, some of the energy is radiated, some of the energy is reflected back, and some of the energy is absorbed. The absorbed energy warms the Earth's atmosphere and the surface of the Earth. Temperature rises. You can see that there is a temperature rise in the from 0.5 degrees Celsius to 1.5 degrees Celsius as we are traveling from 1850 to 2024. And you can see that the temperature was limiting up to 1 degree Celsius till 2000. And in 2020, it has tipped up to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and 2024 till 2020 to 2025, it is maintaining 1.5 degrees Celsius. And this 1.5 degrees Celsius, when it is tipping the 1.5 degrees Celsius, there will be a strong changes in the life of the humans. There will be a change in the climate change and the nature also. You can see that this is directly related to climate change, nature, and the people. Climate change, nature, and the people, three are interrelated to each other. As there is a catastrophic changes in the nature, it will affect the climate, and climate will affect the people. And people, this is irreversible also. And what are the effects of the global warming? There will be rise in the temperature, threats to the ecosystem, climatic change, spread of the disease, high mortality rates, and the loss of the natural habitat. And how can we stop this global warming? We can stop this global warming by reducing the usage of the transportation, which is very alarming now, and using the energy saving appliances, and promoting the green 9 mantras, then use less hot water, and protect the earth, protect our mother earth, and raise the awareness and stop the global warming. And we have to make a strong call to protect this nature, and we have to create awareness among the students of our nation. And climate change will affect our health also, and climate change is directly affecting the lungs, which is very important and alarming for the human life. Extreme heat, air pollution, plant pollen, and flooding, all will cause us directly related to the lungs and the respiratory problems also. And if the due to the rise in the temperature, already as we know that climate change or the global warming, that is the rise in the Earth's atmospheric temperature, the higher temperature will help to more carbon dioxide to be in the atmosphere. And the plants produce, because of that, plants produce more pollens. And as the pollen production is more, it may affect the lungs, and it may cause the lungs diseases, asthmatic problem, and allergic. Extreme heat can also be a symptom of the lung disease. High temperature increases the risk of the droughts, air quality, and the dirt in the atmosphere. That again will be directly affecting the lungs. And what we can do against this is that we can campaign for the green spaces, and we can take green actions, eat green, and be smoke free, be a green patient. We can advocate all these practices, and we can be a green advocate. And I want to introduce you this, all of you may be knowing Greta Thunberg. And Greta Thunberg is a Swedish climatic activist, and she persuaded her parents to reduce her home, reduce the family carbon footprint. And she started this at the age of 15. She protested outside the parliament of the Sweden for the climate change, and she continued the school striking every Friday until the Sweden was in compliance with the Paris Agreement. Her youth and the blunt speak fueled her to rise as the status of the global icon. And by this, I would like to thank again Educate and all the speakers, and I wish you a great day.
Thank you, Preeta ma'am. definitely it is like a call to the nation, and you have covered almost all the points when we talk about embracing cultural diversity for the global economy, relating it to the climatic adaptation, starting from the climatic adaptation, and you ended up with the cultural diversity. That's what I could say. Well, as you rightly mentioned and highlighted there, in today's world, interconnected world, the cultural diversity is a vital component of the global economy. And the benefits of the cultural diversity, I think you highlighted on the innovation part of it, with diverse perspectives drive innovation and creativity, with the global understanding that fostering global understanding, cooperation, and peaceful resolution of conflicts, and also working in congeniality, understanding each other, giving room for each other, such that we are able to handle the climatic adaptation as well. And also in the process, definitely it is enhancing the economic growth as well as giving a room for inclusive workspaces in the markets to attract the top talent, driving the business growth and with increased competitiveness. And two things that you have mentioned, education and training, which is a key thing, which will definitely promote cross-cultural understanding of the people, and also which will help to foster the inclusive workforces and that value and celebrate diversity with the cultural exchanges or the programs that we can work in partnership, thereby enhancing and implementing with policies and procedures which will promote diversity, tolerance, equity, and inclusion. And definitely all this will lead to the increased economic growth, job creation, innovation with the social benefits, social cohesion, and also about the handling about the climatic adaptation and the threats, climatic mitigation, which is being there. Thereby, like to sum it up, embracing cultural diversity will promote global citizenship, empathy, understanding, and let's all work together to promote the cultural diversity and create a more cohesive, inclusive, and a prosperous global economy. Thank you. Thank you,
ma'am.
Prita ma'am, the takeaways from your deliberation today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a wonderful, and it's always a lovely having you here, and we would like to have you more and more in our
Yes, ma'am,
sessions. Thank you.
definitely. I am also eagerly waiting for you working with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, over to the boss now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening session on the topic today. And next, we move on to Mona Sawan. She is passionate about driving transformation in education. She specializes in empowering educators, students, and institutions through leadership, digital citizenship, and educational technology. Her work bridges innovation, mental health, and professional development, fostering inclusive and future-ready learning environment. Thank you so much, ma'am, for deliberating the session. And over to you, ma'am, now.
Warm greetings, everyone. Today, we will explore how culture and education fuel global growth, consider Japan's emphasis on teamwork and the precision, cultural value that drive its manufacturing excellence. Meanwhile, Finland's education system, known for creativity and problem solving, prepares its workforce for global tech leadership. In an increasingly interconnected world, the role of education in preparing individuals for participation in the global economy has never been more critical. Culture and education for the global economy explores how education systems can equip students with the skills, knowledge, and cultural awareness necessary to thrive in a competitive and diverse global market. This presentation examines the impact of globalization on education, highlighting the importance of multilingualism, digital literacy, and the cross-cultural communication in shaping a globally competent workforce. Within this foundation, let's identify the key pathways to global economic success. So pathways to global economic success requires three pillars. First one is the skills. Example, Germany's vocational training model creates highly skilled technicians sought worldwide. Second, it's the second skill is the knowledge. South Korea, Korea's focus on STEM education fuels its tech dominance. Third skill, which is the values. Scandinavian nations prioritize sustainability, giving them an edge in green industries. These elements prepare nations to compete and collaborate globally. To see why these pillars matter, let's examine today interconnected economy. So a smartphone supply chain illustrates this perfectly. Designed in California with the chips from Taiwan, assembled in Vietnam and sold globally. It relies on cross-border collaboration. Similarly, a financial shift in the United States can impact jobs in India's IT sector. So our economies are deeply linked. So navigating this complexity demands the global competence, which start here. So let's take Singapore so its education system blends Western critical thinking with the Asian discipline, while its multicultural society fosters adaptability. This combination has made it a global business hub. So competence isn't just about skills, it's about understanding cultural contexts, like how silence in Japan signals respect during negotiations. Let's break down the specific educational priorities that build this competence. Three areas are critical. First one is the international relations. So the Netherlands, a trading nation, teaches students EU policies and the global economics early. Multilingualism. In Switzerland's fluency in French, German, and Italian fuels its diplomacy and banking sectors. Digital literacy, Estonia's tech-savvy education system, like Skype, and a thriving e-governance governance model. How can education systems embed these priorities? Let's explore proven models. Two standout approaches, which is international curricula, like the IB program used in 150 countries, emphasizes global citizenship. Exchange programs like Erasmus has connected over 10 million EU students, creating a mobile, culturally aware workforce. These models turn classroom into global networks. Technology accelerates these transformations. Here's how. Platforms like Coursera offers courses from Yale to learners in Rwanda, AI tools like Duolingo, tailor language lessons to individual pace. Meanwhile, virtual labs let Brazilian students collaborate with peers in Norway on engineering projects. Geography is no longer a barrier to world-class education. Yet technology's promise isn't evenly distributed. Let's address the gaps. So while a student in some cities uses AI tutors, another, like in rural Kenya, lacks electricity. Economic disparities persist. 50% of schools have no internet. Cultural barriers matter too. Some societies resist online learning, fearing it erodes traditional teaching. Bridging these divides is urgent. Thankfully, innovative strategies are emerging to tackle these challenges. Here are the successful solutions. First solution is the partnerships. Microsoft's education transformation framework helps governments modernize the schools, and also curriculum reform. Australia integrates knowledge into STEM, fostering inclusivity. Skills focus, Dubai's future accelerators trains youth in AI and the blockchain for emerging jobs. So collaboration is key. No single nation can solve these challenges alone. To close, let's reflect on the bigger picture. Okay, so education for the global economy is crucial for preparing students to thrive in an interconnected world. It requires an emphasis on multicultural understanding, digital literacy, and the global collaboration. So from Finland's classroom to Kenya's mobile learning labs, culture and education are rewriting economic rules. So by investing in both, we don't just prepare workers, we shape problem solvers for a world without borders. This question isn't whether we can afford to act, but whether we can afford not to. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Mona Savan. What a brilliant deliberation, really.
Thank you. Thank
Almost, you have moved away from your area, what your key things that, and you have covered it on the whole, making it more constitutional, like this is what is to be done, better do it. Maybe like you have taken few inspirations from the previous speaker, Dr. Preeta Judge, I think. Well, as you rightly mentioned, that cultural rights for the global economy refer to the rights of the individuals and communities. So when we talk about rights, what follows through are the responsibilities. So when we talk about the rights of the individuals and communities, we are already responsible to preserve and express it and benefit and exhibit it in the cultural heritage and the diversity as such, to form a cohesive atmosphere that we're talking about. So what are the importance of cultural rights that you have mentioned about exactly that protecting the cultural heritage and sites, not only in terms of exactly the way it has been demonstrated or whatever thing, but with the practices and the traditions that we follow, that the way we manifest as a person is very important. So accepting with the tolerance, as our chief guest was also mentioning, the key word when we talk about cultural diversity is the tolerance. So encouraging diversity with the inclusivity in the culture and the cultural expression, that definitely will contribute to the economic factor as well, thereby empowering all communities and supporting all communities in terms of preservation and promoting their cultural identities. Thereby, what are the main challenges, as you rightly mentioned, the risk of cultural, which is called as homogenization due to globalization with the dominant cultural influences, and thereby protecting the intellectual properties, which is becoming a threat of in this modern trend, is definitely has to be looked into with the access of the benefit of the fairness, and also will due respect of acknowledging each one's participation, each one's presence in this planet Earth. Let's not think about this Earth is only for me and our culture and our community. It is for everyone. It is universal, such that we learn to live in cohesion and developing cultural industries as such, promoting and preserving the cultural heritage, thereby which will lead in future, if you add what need to add on, it will lead to promote cultural tourism that will respect and benefit the local communities with all innovation and creativity, with due frameworks which are which could be highlighted thereupon from UNESCO, as the UNESCO's Convention on the Protection and Promotion of Diversity of Cultural Expressions, which talks about the human rights, the international human rights and the frameworks recognizing the cultural rights. thereby contributing to the sustainable developmental goals, integrating the cultural rights into the sustainable developmental goals and the initiatives. So definitely by recognizing and promoting these cultural rights along with the responsibilities, we can, as you rightfully mentioned, as an educationist, you say that the walls, if you're talking about the future education, or if you're talking about the education, it's definitely inside the four walls of the classroom. So definitely go and hit the exactly the iron rod where it has to be hit. So we'll be able to foster more and more inclusive and diverse with the world citizenship. We'll be able to foster more inclusive and diverse global economy that we're talking about, and values and respect that we are expecting to give adherence to the cultural heritage and diversity involved in therein. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
was great. It was a beautiful deliberation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. We move next to, yes, sir. Yeah, I know, Ms. Neha, my boss. She's going to kill me because I didn't. Our next speaker is not here, I think. She's not joined. So I think we need to move ahead. I think, yeah, she's joined. Neha, she's joined. She's just joined us. So let me just, it's Dulum. I think we can, welcome Ms. Dulum. She joined just now, yeah. Duyum, Ms. Duyum. Welcome, ma'am. By the time if she's settling down, should we go on to the next speaker? Is it okay with Ms. Duyum? Should we call on the next speaker and come back to you? I think we should do that, Ms. Neha.
Okay.
So we'll go to Ms. Dr. Elena Boswick now.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Elena, to our yet another session. She is an academician of ERASA. She is full professor, university advisor to the president of Belgrade Metropolitan University, Belgrade, Republic of Serbia, and director of ERASA Institute in Belgrade, Republic of Serbia. And she's having 110 masters and master theses, mentor of 780 graduate theses, author and co-author of 720 scientific papers published in reference journals, numerous books and studies, over 10,000 created wheat hybrids, according to the leaf rust pathogen of wheat. She is a regular member of Metica and ERASA 2080. Professor Jelena Boswick is a full professor at the university, advisor to the president of Belgrade Metropolitan University. We welcome you all, ma'am, for today's session, and over to you for deliberating today's topic.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Respected dear Srividya Sikamar, scientists, university professors, experts, ladies and gentlemen. I owe special thanks for invitation, Dr. Srividya Sikamar, to be guest speaker and extending my warm regards to organizer of this important future international conference in the process mobilization in the world. I'm a professor, university professor, and business science, much decades, much work. My topic today, the impact of globalization, procession and the development of higher education, global economy, tourism, the climate change in the relationship. The globalization of education processes leads to certain unification of education, which made that unification and standardization of educational objective of didactic technologies recommended for their use in view of their effectiveness of national criteria for evaluation. Naturally, an infection should not be absolutized, but used creatively to highlight to diversity of educational ideas and other distinctive character in the field of higher education and to link them more closely to business. Educational change in higher education are, I think, place at a much greater pace today than they did to 20th century. This is caused by the increased dynamic of processes in the modern world, in their inevitable impact of education. Relevance as a requirement for a true educationally contained cause condition for rapidly occurring changes. So in pedagogical technology in didactic means. This poses a certain challenges for teachers in higher education institution to be familiar with the applied current trend in European and world education. European is a bad economy now. Now war Ukraine. Globalization, in can point the globalization process have complex impact on the characteristic of higher education and lead a rapid transformation. European education is a big problem. Business big problem. Economy big problem. Education now. Education is India, China. Better education in European now. USA have education problem, especially scientific problem, international project, international cooperation. Much problem economy is process higher education. In this process, a number of challenges are emerging that can be overcome by the efforts of the global academic community with the unifying goal of forming a new public morality. In addition to many other effects, globalization has changed the situation in the field of higher education. Research conducted foreign independent researcher, national and international organization interpret the results of the after morality impact differently. Everyone agreed that the impact of the globalization of higher education and thus knowledge is very insignificant. However, there are differences in the interpretation of the effects. For some, they are positive, for some negative, and most often is a matter, and simultaneously noticing good and bad aspects. Objective researchers and studies conclude that thematic action is necessary to regulate the field of higher education. In the global level, knowledge as well, a power is unfairly distributed among the countries of the world. Basically apply, acknowledge that most development countries in the world have enormous wealth and dominant wealth economy, especially new technology, artificial intelligence, logarithm, etc. Much technology, importance education. At the opposite pole, vast majority of humanity lives in poverty and misery, which does not have the capacity to bridge the development gap on its own. Or the country, the outflow of highly educated personnel and the commercialization education sector contribute in the depending of the difference between development and the developments in region and country. In important globalization, higher education, brain drain, commercialization education, reform on the characteristic pattern of modern society in the increasing influence of globalization process. They are making increasing process globalization in the world. Today, have war 16 war in the world. In the world, big war, Ukraine and especially Gaza. They are making their mark on the economic, political, and the cultural life, and contributing to formation new globalization value. That's being done with the crucial role of education, which is shaping moral and cognitive potential of future generation. The ever-narrowing boundary between the economic, culture, and political difference of individual countries, and helping to shape common idea about educational goal and the pathway of global society qualification. And global education is a much problem in the world, especially global education different model. Globalization leads to change all aspects of the human activity, both individual and social, which inevitably reflect the field of education. Author Lee called the 21st century the century of educational mobility, the global schooling, and this context education, or rather globalization of education, should and indispensable part discussion of education is a process, importance, context, education, and context globalization. Importance education, modern society, evidenced by numerous studies conducted, international organization that dealing with education policy, UNESCO, OECD, ILO, Council Europe, European Commission, etc., international organization. Their common measure education, fundamental resources, every national economy is a long-term process development, exclusive quality human resource. Is process current theoretical approach, relationship between globalization and higher education is very, very, very important. Very important is a neoliberalism. Neoliberalism in education. Education is important. Much country, African continent, African country globalization, higher education not necessarily produce negative consequence. Especially bad country, positive effect globalization on education by examining empirical evidence from various perspectives. In the end, my lecture no longer have much longer long lecture is interesting process globalization, economy, climate change, and especially economy and war. It is possible fact the impact of globalization is situation in the field. Higher education is a mix of negative and positive elements. A complete understanding of phenomena and relationship between globalization, higher education require analysis of numerous other factors, great lesser extent, effect development, territory education, function modern society, and generally. Is a problem only such understood that the pragmatic process higher education reform can contribute to reducing the gap between development and the underdevelopment. That is only such a reform lead modern society and the purpose in the knowledge society. Acknowledgement this research was supported by Ministry of Science, Technology, Development and Innovation of Republic Serbia. Serbia, my project. My lecture is a part my investigation in projects. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for invitation. Very, very interesting conference, global, important in human population, all the world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my colleague, especially Dr. Srividya, big friends, our friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I think ma'am has really highlighted almost the cultural rights when it relates to the broad range of issues. First, highlighting the issues like expression and the creation part of it, including the diverse material and the non-material forms of any form of art or education or anything that they're learning about, with the information and communication language, identity and belonging to the people of a diverse and changing communities, of their shared cultural values, which is really inflicting, though ma'am was highlighting on the higher education part of it, on the whole, it is definitely, affecting the education part of it, with the specific world visions of the pursuit of the specific ways of life. And what is required is education, training, access to the contribution, participation of the cultural life, and the conduct of the cultural practices, with the enjoyment of the cultural in its tangible, intangible, natural, mixed manifestations. Because these cultural rights protect the rights of each person, individuality, and community, with each other, as well as with the groups of people, to develop and express their humility, their world view, and the meanings they live in their existence and the development through any beliefs that they have with the conventions, the language, and the knowledge and the art and the institution. There are different ways of manifestation which are related to it. Definitely, ma'am, we do agree with that. So talking about the cultural life when it comes to that, all those key highlights that you have highlighted from UNESCO's Article 15, that is International Covenant of Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, with the Committee of the Economic, with the general comment on number 21, also with the scope and content of its right, as it's highlight there with the Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and also the social cultural rights and the right of protection of moral and the material interests, and resulting in any scientific and the literary artistic protection, which is there, which is with Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights and the Article 15 of the International Covenant of the Economic, Social Rights. So definitely we will take everything into account as such, and finally, your call to the people with the non-discrimination principle of enshrining the large number of international legal instruments constitutes the important legal base of the mandate. So we will agree to that, and definitely all these are more interlinked as such, whatever you have mentioned, though your quotations are directly from the source. We do agree that they are more interlinked, and how well we will be able to integrate to the cascading to the different systems which are to the state, district, and the local community and the different country that is involved in it. That's where the key challenges that we are going to face through. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's always a wonderful pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Thanks for those wonderful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for you. Thank you for my friends, my colleague, my colleague, university professor, expert, scientific, and much international organization. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And the way you say thank you, that's what the whole culture is all about. We are talking about culture, and this is what the culture is.
Yes, I much work. Projects, students, much work.
Exactly. The way you conduct yourself speaks volumes of your culture. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm energetic. I'm energetic person. I'm work every day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Over to the boss, Ms. Neha, please. Thank you. Welcome the next speaker. I think it's Ms. Dudu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful insights you shared on today's topic. And it is every time we see you, we also get energy. The way you are saying energetic, and we also feel so much energy in ourselves by hearing your sessions. So, over to the next speaker of the session, Doyum Dilam. She's an accounting professional with a BSc in accounting and ICANN aspirant. Based in Nigeria, she's a bilingual in Hausa and Tia languages. She currently works with Naifa Maruf Foundation as a finance manager, leveraging skills to contribute to the organization's mission and goals. We welcome you all for today's session, ma'am, and over to you, ma'am.
Ms. Diyum, hope you're ready to present it. Yes.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready. Please go ahead, Ms. Diyum. You have your presentation. You can share your presentation.
Okay. So, honorable delegates, esteemed colleagues, and global partners. So today we gather to address a critical issue yet often overlooked dimension, a discussion about the sustainable development, and I am looking at the topic cultural rights for the global economy. So we are going to be looking at the cultural rights for our global economy, and I am going to be dwelling on the Nigerian cultural rights. Like I said, my name is Doyum. I am from Nigeria, and I will look at some of the cultural rights. Cultural rights are essential component of the human right, ensuring that communities preserve, express, and benefit from their heritage in a globalized world. So the importance of the cultural rights in the global economy, we're looking at in the global economy, the cultural right, we have benefited from it in so many ways. It promotes inclusive growth. We look at how the culture has been promoting the growth of our economy, and the cultural heritage attracts tourism. Through this culture, we attract tourism to our country, and through this cultural right, our countries generate revenues from this culture because other people find it interested to come to our country, to come to Nigeria, to come to the northern part of Nigeria where I am from, to learn about our culture, to learn about our way of life, the types of food we eat. And so it helps generate revenue. And this cultural right, it fosters innovation. It fosters innovation. So I will give an example like the indigenous practice, the Hausa textile. The Hausa people, they are known for textile in my country. And so the Tiv culture as well, like I said, I'm a bilingual of Hausa and Tiv language. So the Tiv culture are known very good for agriculture. So Nigeria, the Benue state is known as the food basket of the nation. So as the food basket of the nation, through this cultural right, we produce diverse types of food. We can find all the varieties of fruits, the beverages, the seeds, the legumes, name them, the yam, we have the cocoa yam, the cassava that we use, the nuts, yeah, the cowpea, the granules, we all find them in our country, Nigeria, Benue State, to be precise. So this cultural right, so let me also look at the Hausa people. They also deal in commerce, the economic contribution, the textile, I've already said that. And we also have some challenges. Okay, sorry, so I'm sorry for that.
Continue, Ms. Jill.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, my case study is I'm dealing with the Hausa and the Tiv people of Benue State. So the policy recommendation, yeah, so protect intellectual property, establish frameworks to safeguard traditional art. Thus, through this cultural right, it helps us to protect our intellectual and properties.
Ms. Dion? Ms. Dion?
Maybe the network.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we have lost Ms. Dion there. She was very clear in her deliberation with the cultural considerations of the cultural values that shaping the way of life, basically, with the economic development and what they have for the normal livestock that we're talking about, and the way of life that she was mentioning, though she was unable to complete what is the thing is definitely even that really contribute to managing the balancing the cultural diversity, which is a key risk of cultural homogenization. And addressing these powerful imbalances definitely with in the diverse cultural perspectives and shaping up the public policies and policymakers will make it more effective, including the global economic policies to respect and promote cultural diversity, irrespective of their origin, their nationality, the way of life, or whatever thing. It's all in the key hands of the policy makers who are into that. And definitely, I think we all our heart, mind, and soul together to improve these standards of living for them, and we should really contribute to that. And our sessions will focus and influence categorically on these aspects now, with due focus or the rational into those areas. Thank you. Thank you so much. Moving ahead, Ms. Neha, can we welcome the next speaker, dear?
Good evening, Dr. R. Sri Pramila. Dr. Pramila has 21 years of experience, and her area of specialization is queuing theory, differential equations, application of mathematics, operations research, and she's presently working with Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, Coimbatore, and her topic for deliberation today is culture for climate action for the global economy. We welcome you for today's session, ma'am, and over to you.
Welcome, Parimla ma'am. Hello. Okay, we'll take the next speaker. If ma'am is not there, Vasanthi ma'am, should we go ahead with you? Yes. So Ms. Neha will come back to her again, and then we can invite Dr. Vasanthi now.
Good evening, Dr. Vasanthi ma'am, and yet again we are seeing you for yet another session, an engaging session with you, and we can see that all the sessions which we have with you till now for G20 International One Planet, you are presenting all the thought points, and you gave us also the food for thought. So a very distinguished educationist with experience in admin and academic spanning 3 decades, and she has in areas of research for supply chain and logistics, research methodology, and cross-cultural enthusiast and a promoter of cultural diplomacy, and that's what we are talking about today as well. We welcome you, ma'am, for today's session, and over to you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I could see Parimala ma'am here. Parimala ma'am, you will be able to present after Vasanthi ma'am. We invited you since we were not maybe like
my network is not proper now.
Yes.
Afterwards, Vasanthi ma'am presentation I will be presenting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Vasanthi ma'am, thanks for that. Please go. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I have a little different take on this. I'm talking about slow-madism, and this I understand has been, the talk by many of the organizations as well. And I thought that I can link it with SDG 3, SDG 10, and SDG 11, and that's how I brought this topic in. And basically, being a student of management, our thought process moves that way. And so that basically I'm talking about strategic decisions, embracing culture and tourism. And in fact, I got this topic from another professor as we were having deliberations, and that's how when we had this culture come in, I thought this would match the session's pointers. So the new travel and work culture is what slow-madism is all about. Just for people who are already aware, fine, but those who find, because we have people from the science background and engineering background, probably they might find this new. So the slow-madism is a concept which includes both someone who travels slowly, meaning they don't not like regular travelers who travel, we get a visa, we travel for a week or 10 days and then return back. We are quickly moving around and then looking at all the cultural places or tourist attractions and then coming back. But a slow-mad usually stays. The difference is that a slow-mad usually stays for a period of 6 months or more in a place. He or she understands the concept very well about their culture. He or she doesn't stay in the regular tourist places, but lives along with the regular the locals and understands their way of living. So that is one. And a little difference, because I also understand through research that sometimes the digital nomad is also taken as a slow mad, but there is a slight difference between the two. So this is just the basic about what slow mad is, because that's what my topic is all about. And then now I'm trying to link slow mad to how it can be taken forward by corporates and how that can help in climate change and enhancing culture and so on. So when we are talking about slow life movements, usually the slow mads look at simple locations and not at big tourist places or hotels, and there's less expenses. As I said, they stay for a longer period of time. They appreciate the culture, and they at the same time they also accomplish their job responsibilities. Like, because after COVID especially, the use of technology has just blown up, and in fact education never stopped. Because of COVID, we were able to continue tutoring our students, and many of them not many, almost all of them were able to complete their education through online exams and so on. So even reaching out to people, and what we are doing right now is also part of how technology has helped us. And so in one way, yeah, COVID has helped us understand how best we can think out of the box and make use of technology. And this slow madism is one among them, wherein we already have people working from home. So this is like, you're working from some other place, somewhere outside, where you're not only accomplishing your responsibility, but you're also, being part of the culture. Like the previous speaker, I am unable to get her name, from Nigeria. She spoke about how culture is helping the country, her country, the economy of the country is improving because of tourism. So this is part of it. Slow madism is a part of it. So these are the advantages that I was able to capture. One is it's environmentally friendly because it does not involve that rigorous travel. Like every day morning, I leave home by my college institution is not very far away, so it's just a 5 minutes drive from my home. So but then the rigor is there, right? Not only me, people staying a little further away, you take your vehicle, so there is pollution happening. But here you do not have to commute and run anywhere, so that way it's environmentally friendly. Secondly, it is less stressful because you don't have to worry about expensive clothes and dressing. Usually slow max, even the digital nomads, they don't carry too many things with them. They live very simple, and so it is less stressful. Thirdly, because especially women, not only women, I know my own brother, how long he takes to dress up. So the perfume or everything, right? I'm sure you'll agree. Then the kind of vehicle we require, competition over that, even the regular handbag also. But then all that stress is reduced. And the next is sorry, increased employee productivity, because since it's less stressful, we are able to focus more, and we have a lot of concentration. We can because usually slow mads stay in places which is away from the hustle and bustle of regular tourist places. I said it is environmentally friendly because as I said, they carry less and consume less, and affordable. Since slow mads like to live local, the cost of living also becomes less, and it helps in increasing their network as well. Because they adapt to different cultures, they're able to take in the good from different cultures and then share it across. So I got this point, from just a justification of how perceived benefits from a person who is doing this slow madism. And see, she has mentioned that many countries offer digital nomad visas now. So that is how popular it is becoming. And she said these are the things. I'm not reading it, but she just gave in. It was in one of her blogs, and I just I'm just sharing this. A quick glance. So what are the perceived benefits and linkages with the SDG? Because that was the objective of my study. So one is SDG 3, good health and well-being. I'm sure you'll agree with me now, because when most of our diseases are related to stress, whether it is diabetes, whether it is blood pressure, all that is stress related, and even cancer is stress related, they say. So when we are able to take care of our well-being, automatically, that SDG 3 gets, comes into play. The second is SDG 10, reduced inequalities. See, when I look at a person from far, I'm just reading about him or her, the culture about him or her, I might find it very weird. I might find it very, sometimes funny, sometimes serious or whatever. But when I stay with them, I learn to appreciate the culture. I learn to understand why they are following certain practices. I just remember this. I had some students from South Africa who were studying here in Mysore, and I just happened to ask them once, what do you find very interesting, or you were curious to know about, or found it very funny, about the Indian culture? And they told me, I find that in front of every house, they draw some design. So this is Rangoli, which the Indians, it's a tradition. It's a part of the culture. So they found, for us, it's like we are seeing it every day. So we don't find anything different. So when she said that, I felt, oh, yes. And then there was another. The second one was, she said, you have such a long, so much of traditions involved in a wedding. Because their classmates and all invite them for weddings. So they were saying, we find it have so much of religious rituals which we don't have. And the third and the most interesting that I really felt was, they said, you use so much of material on one person which can clothe our whole family. And that was when yeah, a sari is a 6 meter sari, and then if you take the material, the blouse and the the petticoat and all that together, yes. So see, we don't realize until I never realized it until I spoke to them. So it reduces inequalities, meaning that we learn to appreciate the other culture, and then we know how to imbibe the good things from each culture. And lastly, sustainable communities. So here we have the ESGs, environmental social governance, now in place. So Slow-madism can be promoted by these corporates to encourage culture and economic stability. So this not only helps in promoting tourism in those cultures, in those places, but it also helps the local community in understanding the value of their culture. Because right now, the youngsters, or even we, many a time we tend to forget our culture and try to get influenced by something new, but we forget that these the practices that we have, like how our guest of honors today spoke about our Vedic culture in the Indian context. I'm talking about being an Indian. There are so many scientific reasons why each activity is being followed, irrespective of whatever religion. And we tend to forget the significance of all that, and then we take it for granted, and we try to take in something which is easy for us, rather than understanding how significant it is for us. So by doing this, see, when we know that like how the Nigerian speaker said, people are coming to our country because from far and wide, because to know more about our culture, our lifestyle, and food habits. She was saying all that, and that's the reason their economy is improving. So obviously, when we follow this, my suggestion is to the corporates, that if they can promote slow-madism, obviously when the people around will understand that they are having a lot of visitors coming to meet them from different parts of the globe, they will try to promote their culture or try to sustain their culture. So this is my I rest my case here. Thank you so much. And these are the important references that I went through. So thank you once again, Dr. Srividya, for the platform, and for everyone for your patient listening. Thank you so much.
Well, that was commendable indeed, really. Vasanthi ma'am, first thing what I was thinking is, like, why nobody is taking up this point of tourism, connecting culture and tourism. They're so interlinked, actually. So far now we have been talking about so many things like congeniality and accepting world citizenship, living, in coherence with tolerance and everything. We are talking only about the ecosystem, and the major catalyst of the ecosystem, what I thought is, when we talk about culture, the final outcome, it should actually, if you're talking about any progressive end or the progressive outcome, it will inflict, or it will influence only the tourism industry. So far, like all the before speakers, they didn't touch about it, and thanks for highlighting that in your deliberation. Thank you so much. First thing.
Thank you.
Second thing, the innovative aspect of it. When we talk about tourism, again, people will talk about taking, the normal modes of transport. What I mean is whether it is airways or waterways or whatever thing, and going to the other places, the religious places, and, learning from them. The learning takes place, the adaptation takes place, respecting takes place, everything. But from where did you get this new idea of slow-madism, which is definitely, I think so many people have, you have got them in accord, like starting from Vasco da Gama age. Definitely, we have to take him into consideration, though it has been changed that Vasco da Gama did not discover America. But still, I think we should take that into consideration, starting from that age. This slow Madism has been in process as such, whether it is Vasco da Gama or Adi Shankaracharya or anybody for that matter, if we take into account, even Srila Prabhupada, who has really gone ahead into different countries, talking about Hinduism and other things. And definitely, like it has to be really thought about. People have to be really, and the modern trend, Sadhguru moving in a bike across the countries, definitely all these things we do have instances which we can see in our daily life, and it has to be considered. And leaving aside, not compromising on the other things, what you have highlighted is, the main thing is when we talk about the slow Madism and other things which we're talking about when it comes to the tourism, the main thing is working in congenial, respecting each other. So when we know to respect each other, first of all, then we will know exactly what is required, and then I will have a paying heed. I will listen to you. I will understand that you are trying to say something, and I will look into you, and I will try to learn from you. Learning, exactly, the process of learning really happens. Exactly, putting with the keynote of empathy there, putting ourselves in others' shoes, and as we live in UAE, in a Muslim country, definitely with due adherence to the Ramadan time and prayer hours of 5 times in a day, everything is being considered with due adherence. And whole, as you related to the corporate world, here it is more related. In the corporate world, the business stops. Official hours and official meeting stops for the prayer hours. So these things have to be considered. Whereas in other countries, it is not actually happening, especially in our country, it's not happening. It becomes a mockery, or it becomes a question of, it has to be really thought about from our perspective of it, and people should know exactly, well, this is what we are. And as a key goes saying, as a saying it goes, when we are able to compromise on self, we will be able to compromise on anything. So that should not be the case, definitely. So, beautiful deliberation, ma'am. Definitely, you've touched almost all the points which are key there, and exactly, like it plays a significant role in talking about the global economy as such. And anything to be add on with strategic directions that we can talk about these things, like highlighting on cultural tourism, and with authentic experiences, with the community engagement, such that we will be able to have more revenue generation. Also, people will move to different countries instead of just looking at them, and they will have more and more job opportunities. And thereby, we are not only talking about cultural preservation, but also sustainability with the global competitive world. Definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. Yes, I'm sure Ms. Neha would like to add something to your presentation. So I would like to hear from her.
Thank you, Dr. Vasanti, ma'am. It was really insightful session, and you have given a new word in my vocabulary list to be put in my mind, slow Madism. And really, we are grateful to you that that you gave us this enlightenment of this new word. And probably in my whole lifetime, I will never forget this word now. And specifically, it has been related to one of the key factors, which is related to culture. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful session and bringing this important concept into our lives today. Thank you so much, ma'am.
And you're from the HR background, I guess, as I remember.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So that's the reason you find it as interesting. I'm so happy that you found it useful. Thank you so much.
We are
We have-
going to Parimala ma'am now. Thank you.
Next, we have for the session Dr. R. Shri Parimala ma'am. She is an associate professor, Department of Mathematics, with 21 years of expertise and her area of specialization is queuing theory, differentiation equations, application of mathematics, operations, research, and she's currently working with Sri Ishwar College of Engineering and Coimbatore. Her point of deliberation on which she will be highlighting today is culture for climate action for the global economy. We welcome you, ma'am, for today's session, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really thank all of you in this program. Actually, I'm going to speak about the culture for climate action for the global economy. And actually promoting to the cultural rights is a foremost duty for you as a human beings. Preserve and protect the cultural heritage. Actually, it is a tangible or intangible to the foster respect to the understanding among the nations. Encouraging the cultural exchange programs that build in cultural expectations between all the countries also creates a pace. Combinations of the cultural appreciations by promoting the ethical presentations as in all tourism places will make the friendly moment within between the countries. Actually, interchange between the cultural activities between the countries also. Actually, we want to know what is a cultural for climate action. That is C4CA, that is cultural for climate action. It is an arts of extension of service initiative to bridge the art and sustainability by providing the trainings and workshops, collaborative grant funded projects, and as well as special events for the arts and culture field. Actually, climate change is one of the major challenges of our life. This is also true for the cultural and natural heritage of humanity also. Cultural plays a vital role in the driving climate action for the global economy. Also, cultural is a key nature for adapting the climate change also. By incorporating the cultural properties of practices into the climate policies and initiative the societies, it can create a more and more impact in between the peoples also. Actually, cultural views involving with the inspire new ideas, challenging the forthcoming approaches, and it will encourage the diverse voices in climate governance also. Action must come from first and foremost governments, cities, regions, some business partners, and as well as investors. Everyone has a role to play effectively in this point, right? And the building more sustainable global economy will help to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change. By recognitions and leveraging the power of cultural societies can create a more holistic and effective response to climate change, leading to the more sustainable and equitable global economy within the countries, and it will preserve our earth also. And we want to see the climate based views according to the cultural base, right? So first point is the social changes that we want to make the some points, we want to take some points to the peoples, that we want to give the inspiration to the peoples according to the cultural, and as well as it can be moved according to the climate needs, right? So next thing is challenging the status climate policies, right? And the next one is empowering the peoples and protecting the heritage between them, right? And as well as integrating the climate action into the economy side, right? And also promoting the sustainable consumption and production also. Next one is, next the point I want to highlight here is the combination of all the three things. First one is environment, and next one is culture, and next one is economy. All the three combination can give the more effective sustainable to our all countries, right? And next one is the climate action all over the world. I'm telling that the World Heritage properties serve as a climate change observations together and share informations on applied and tested monitoring, migrations, and adaptation practices, right? The global network of World Heritage also helps to raise the awareness on the impacts of climate change on the human societies and cultural diversity, biodiversity, and as well as ecosystem services and the world's natural cultural heritage. And stepping sources, I have thought that what are the stepping sources towards the climate along with the cultural changes. I want to highlight some more points. The first point I want to tell that the cultural education for sustainable behavior. The first point, it is the integrate climate and sustainability themes into arts and humanities in the education. In the education will create a more changes, because educating the students towards the cultural and sustainable behavior gives more result to preserve our earth, and teach respect for nature through cultural traditions to promote intergenerational knowledge transfer, involving some communities in proprietary storytelling and documentations. It will create the environmental good way to learn the educational programs. And next thing is towards talking about the industries. Some artists, filmmakers, and designers can shift the mindsets and raise the awareness of climate issues through storytelling to public, isn't it? So cultural festivals and media platforms also can promote the climate education and mobilize the communities around the environmental causes. Also, the music and performance arts have the power to mobilize youth and communities for global climate movements. And next step I want to tell you that is economic benefits of cultural climate scenarios. Green jobs in cultural sectors, it is a very biggest topic, because the agriculture is a foremost needable in to live in earth, right? So as a human beings, we want to protect the agriculture ways regarding to the, because climate gives the more changes in the agriculture. If we have more changes in the agriculture, automatically the living things will be affected throughout the earth places, right? So preserving culturative supports social activities. You want to make some some awareness to the cultural activities also. And as well as urban planning and the cultural sustainability plays a vital role in the disciplinary activities, some cultural greening, protecting, right? And next is cultural institutions. I want to tell you that we want to give more importance to develop the cultural institutions as green innovators. And towards getting the projects, some innovations towards the agriculture and as well as climates, we can implement all the countries. It will give some more and more effective clean growth in the cultural and as well as in the climate changes. So in these points, I would like to thank you all, and I thank my professors and as well as my college, the Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, Principal Ma'am, Chairman Sir, and Director Sir, by giving me this good opportunity. And I also thank to Neha Ma'am and as well as Sri Vidya Ma'am, making me in this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Parimala. It was a wonderful presentation indeed. Though
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Highlighting, focusing, you tried your level best to focus only on the climatic adaptation. I think you have generalized the whole topic with what all things needs to be done in different areas of such. So definitely, as you have mentioned, like this promoting cultural heritage will be one of the factors that is showcasing with sites and traditions and practices, which will definitely contribute to the global economy, and providing authentic and sharing authentic cultural experiences can differentiate destinations and attract more high value tourists with a lot of community engagement and tourism development. And what is actually required for this tourism development is basically the infrastructure development of the local community, such as the commutation. I hope you will agree with me,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Transportation part of it, and the amenities, definitely we need to look into that. And also about the marketing and promotion, I think it's going really too much these days. However, it is that promoting sustainable tourism practices will help to preserve this cultural heritage and natural resources.
Yes.
Thereby,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
will have its inflection of the influence on the economic benefits as job creation. Definitely, it will create more jobs in terms, including the areas of hospitality, transportation, and other cultural study, research,
Yes, yes.
and archaeology, etc., etc., etc. All these things will definitely follow through with
Yeah,
a
yes.
good revenue generation with the local economy spending on these things. And definitely people will also understand the economic diversification between the countries, which is the key thing, that what is the value of maybe in simple terms 1 kg aloo or potato in my country is this much, and how much is it in the
Yes.
other country. And definitely they will start comparing the economy of between the countries, which
Yes,
will
ma'am.
definitely make people think about the global economy. That way, it just contributes to the world economy as such.
Yeah, it is each
And
and every
also,
woman's responsibilities, right?
yeah. And in other words, it is also contributing to the green economy. These days, we don't carry, like normal currency notes. It's all through cash and carry. So definitely, people will start thinking about Go Mobile and all these things. And even if we don't know, we'll start learning things and we'll start about thinking about the conversion. And also, it's not only conversion and conservation as well. How much will I be able to save here? That's that saving for myself and saving for the country also will come in through there. And the cultural and thereby definitely these will definitely contribute to the economic growth and promote cultural exchange as well. So, as these are the different pillars that we cannot compromise on one thing, and we cannot go ahead with the other thing as such. I think everybody will definitely agree with me. And if anybody has got to contribute, in addition to this, most welcome as such. First is awareness, action, accountability, and affordability. All these things contribute to the cultural part of it. So,
Yes.
with due adherence to us, thank you, Shri Parimala ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks for your valuable
Thank you
time.
so much, ma'am.
And really appreciate your deliverance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Ms. Neha, can we move on to the next speaker now, please? I think we have
Well,
got
thank
Mr.
you so
Charles.
much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am, for the wonderful
Thank you.
session.
Thank you.
And now we will move on to Professor Charles. He's academician, educationist, humanitarian, and peace and insurance consultant, international motivational speaker for over 35 years. And today his point of deliberation will be strategic directions, embracing culture and tourism enhances. Over to you, sir, and we welcome you for this session.
More speaker after Mr. Charles.
Bless you.
Also.
To everyone listening, I've been enjoying the speakers. You are doing fine. I've been learning on a daily basis. I learn. Today, we are going to talk about so many things, but my little idea, I would like to share it. As we all know, celebrating culture involves recognizing and appreciating the diverse custom, tradition, and values of different groups within a society. It's important, fostering understanding, promoting empathy, and celebrating the richness that diversity brings. Highlighting local tradition. Like in Nigeria, we have over 371 ethnic groups. We have a language-wise over 520 languages. Like the food, the main 5 types of the group of food are like the fruits, the vegetable, the green, the protein, the dairy. And languages, we have just English as our official language in Nigeria here. And looking at it also, we look at the area of art form. When we get to the area of recognizing and appreciating the cultural heritage, that is where we now look at the traditional festival, which is one of the art form. In Nigeria, we have, in Nigeria, especially maybe in Yoruba area, festival, so as to promote cultural pride and understanding, most especially in Lagos. The art and We have showcasing our local arts form, like weaving, like the beading work, like the pottery, like the sculptures, and highlighting all these our skills, critical skills, that the music, we like music, hearing music, literature, the painting, all the cinema, all these are very, very important. It makes their soul, their spirit to be happy. Music and dancing, they provide a vibrant and engaging experience. Not like I said, like in the language, local language, it helps to maintain a sense of identity. And also we look at the area of promoting understanding and empathy in the area of culture, whereby we look at the educational program that helps students to learn about cultures and developing and appreciating diversity. And also looking at the area of community events, showcasing different culture, creating interaction and understanding. We also have the cross-cultural exchange, encouraging students and teacher community to learn from each other's culture, helping them to have that, to foster empathy and to bridge the divides. We also have the media representation that helps to shaping a perspective and promote a positive attitude, make people look fine and happy. We also look at the area of celebrating diversity and inclusivity, looking at the people come together to celebrate and to share their experiences. Maybe in the evening, sometime in the evening, maybe on Saturday like this, they come together, they share different areas, they respect interaction. We love people to interact between people from different culture. Also, we have the area of accessibility to people, and also making sure that they are able to open up themselves. Empowerment, some program is always that they empower individuals from different culture and to express themselves, so as to share stories, and what knowing that we can build a more inclusive and understanding and vibrant society with this culture. So the main topic of mine that speaks about World Heritage Day. We all know that World Heritage Day is always celebrated annually, April 18. That is when they celebrate that we enjoy it properly. And we all know that it's also known as International Day of Monument and Sites, to create maybe to awareness, raise awareness about the importance of cultural heritage and encourage preservation. Today we are celebrating it, the World Heritage Culture and Tourism, a roadmap, treasure, boosting economy, ties, and equilibrium of world fabric with emphasis to, which I want to talk now, emphasis to strength to strategy, direction, embracing culture and tourism, which enhances the global economy. As we all know, there are three types of three things that we need to take note in embracing culture and tourism strategically, so as to enhance the global economy. Three things we should take note of. What are the things we know? We take note: boosting economic growth, supporting local community, and also fostering cultural exchange. As we all know, tourism plays an important role in preserving cultural tradition and promoting international understanding. Tourism also focuses on cultural heritage and sustainable practices. Tourism also generates revenue. It creates jobs. It encourages investment in structural and local businesses. Celebrating the World Heritage, cultural and tourism, a major roadmap. We also look at the area of celebrating it in a very nice way, so that everybody will be happy and look fulfilled. In the area of cultural exchange and understanding, tourism brings about a global peace. We all need peace. That is what the Sustainable Development is saying now, that we should try to foster understanding and appreciate different culture and contribute to a more peaceful and tolerant world, which we need. That is what the SDG is saying, which we're all practicing and making sure that there will be global peace, irrespective of whatever is going on in any country. That peace must be done, and we must create it in our various areas, in our local area, starting from our local area, our national area to the international world. We look at the cross-cultural interaction by providing opportunity for travelers to engage with different culture, tradition, and way of life, like moving from one place and the other, which is well appreciable. We also look at the preservation of the tradition by helping to preserve and promote traditional arts. craft, and custom that are important in spite of the aspect of cultural identity. In the area of boosting economic growth, tourism plays the following roles, like creating jobs, as I already said. This is the main source of employment, with one having opportunity in hotels. When you are traveling, you need to lodge somewhere, and touring, gardening, and cultural enterprises and restaurant, which is very important. From there, people will work and earn money. It's a way of creating jobs, which is very important. In the area of boosting economic growth, tourism plays encourage investment in infrastructure, in cultural preservation and local businesses. Very important. Tourism increases revenue and has a multiplier effect. How does it do that? Tourism generates revenue through various sectors, like hospitality, like transportation, like retail, like cultural attractions. In the area of multiple effects, it also tourism increases demand for goods and services, stimulate other industry, thereby creating ripple effects. In the area of supporting economic development, tourism also helps to uplift local communities in the way of supporting them so as to provide income opportunity and supporting local businesses. Tourism has a very good way of, it can also incentivize the preservation and promotion of local culture and tradition, which I rightly said, thereby attracting visitors and boosting the local economy. Just like I said about Nigeria, some of the languages, some of the food, all those things, whoever wants may come and visit and see it themselves, which is very important. That is what we are saying. Tourism gives opportunity for investing in infrastructure, such as road, such as transportation, so that which we benefit local community as well. Look at their traditions. Tourism gives room for local community to involve in management, operation of tourist activities, thereby empowering communities and ensuring equitable distribution of benefits. It is worth knowing that strategically, that tourism plays a paramount role, just like we have been saying, promoting education and awareness by educating both the visitors about the importance of cultural heritage and responsible tourism practices for sustainability development, which is what we are targeting. Strategically, tourism encourages sustainable practices, which will bring long-term success, such as minimizing the environmental impacts and also respecting local culture. By the time we do that, we see that the world will look fine and people will be happy. Respect is very nice. It's good we respect ourselves. By the time we respect ourselves, and I'm telling you, people will bring their best and people will be happy. And that is what we are looking at. Strategically, tourism promotes local cultural heritage by showcasing and highlighting local heritage, such as a festival, which I really say tradition, and also historical sites. All those places, visit all those important places that make people happy, because people spending that number of years, 120 years, 130, 150 years, all this, but the younger ones, they spend shortly because they are not going out, they are not visiting. It nourishes you. You go to a different environment, you see how things look like, you'll be happy. It's at least makes you happy. We can also see some of this direction we should know about the strategies, like the development of unique tourism products, investing in infrastructure, and partnering with local community partnership, which is key in SDG. By so doing, promoting sustainability, development goals by 2030, which we are all called to uphold by UN and the Council. As we all know, tourism plays a great role in sustainable development, such as by promoting environmental protection, cultural preservation, as discussed, and also community engagement, make people to be engaged from their local area to international area, to their national area, to the international area. Tourism stimulates local economy by boosting demand and services and products, creating jobs, increasing revenue, reducing poverty. As said earlier, reducing poverty. Yes, by the time we have all this, why will poverty come? People are working, people are looking fine. In 2019, tourism contributed 10.4% to the local GDP. And the travel and tourism industry contributed $10 trillion. And in 2022, it was 7.6%, despite some of the recovering challenges. What are the keynote take home we need to look at in this my talk? We have to look at the area of tourism. It's a vital component of the global economy, contributing significantly to GDP, employment, and economic diversification. The impact extends beyond those direct tourist spending to encompass a wide range of economic activities. And also we look at the area of effective tourism management is crucial to maximize its benefit while mitigating potential risks. As we all know, in spite of the positive effects of tourism, it is also good. We know some of the challenges. What are the challenges of tourism? We look at the area of, it's well known that we look at the area of potential environmental degradations. We look at the social inequality, and we look at the economic dependence. Appreciation. I'm appreciating God and also appreciating everyone listening, appreciating my good sister who has been inviting me and inviting IIU because I represent IIU as the Vice Chancellor. Also, I give kudos to her, Dr. Sukuma, for inviting IIU, and I be the representative as the Vice Chancellor. And also my humble self inviting me as the founder of Dynamic Peace Rescue Mission International for this my little idea I've given. That God will come to bless every one of us as we have listened to the World Heritage, Culture, and Tourism Day. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all the speakers. Thanks for all our colleagues. Thanks for all the council. Thanks to all the listeners. Thanks for everybody. May God bless you all. Remain blessed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation indeed, Mr. Charles. And when we know it is from Mr. Charles, what else can we expect? And whatever we are going to say, it's going to be less. So may I request Dr. Vasanthi ma'am to just give a brief summary and before we move on to the next speaker. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. You have touched upon the significance of how tourism is helping in building the economy, just as the speaker from Nigeria also was mentioning. You gave in a lot of real-time examples to justify whatever you are trying to, share through your discourse. And I felt that when you have tourists coming, to a place, they go back with these memories, and many times that becomes a part of their, style, or they imbibe these things. So there's some kind of a connect which happens, and that was very well emphasized in your speech. Thank you so much, Charles, Professor Sir. It was a wonderful a lot of knowledge sharing happening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, moving ahead, just to sum it up in few words, definitely, sir, we do agree with you that culture represents a creative endeavor and it enhances the human capacities to surmount challenges, navigate uncertainty, and it really pays an ambition to the future. So whatever proposals or whatever business or whatever collaborations that we are going to make or made should always aim at the sustainability development that will incorporate the cultural dimension as explicitly, operationally, and dynamically as pillars associated with the environmental sustainability, economic progress, and social justice. So the culture should definitely furnish an indispensable element for survival and address the aspects of the human behavior identified by these social scientists as the sources and manifestations of creativity and innovation. So we, as all individuals, the bearers of the culture, we represent our culture. We don't need to think about anybody else. Our very face is a representation of our own culture, which actively contribute to its continuous elaboration and creation. And this contribution equips us with to comprehend and interpret reality, endowing individuals and communities and society at large with the capacities to better and transform their surroundings. So definitely, it's a very prosperous and democratic society can be formed with this cultural vitality, and definitely it will, this diversity which will have inclusiveness in its aroma that take it to the democratic coexistence, will have a very clear pathway, a silk route to sustainable development. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for the wonderful deliberation indeed. Thank you. Yes, and so actually moving ahead, we used to have one student speaker always. This week we didn't have. So what we did, we only have Sri Krishna, our host, our beautiful host. So this time we said, Sri Krishna, let you join us as a speaker. So the last impromptu decision has transformed Sri Krishna as a speaker for today. So the new poster will be published with her insert, definitely, but she will go ahead now as a speaker. Yes, over to Sri Krishna. We don't have an introduction as it was a last minute insert. So Sri Krishna will introduce herself. She will introduce her topic and she will go ahead with the presentation. Is that okay, Sri Krishna?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you,
Sure.
ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Please go ahead. Thank you. While sharing your screen, you can introduce yourself, Sri Krishna.
Just a minute, ma'am.
We are able to view the screen.
So, greetings everyone. I'm Sri Krishna from Sri Sai Ram Engineering College. So it is a profound honor to join this esteemed forum to deliberate on defining a frontier of our era, the convergence of creative economy and digital transformation. Once peripheral, creativity has emerged as a core economic driver, shaping identities and influencing global development. When paired with digital innovation, it offers a bold, inclusive path to sustainable economic progress. So from what I've spoke now, I think everyone would have got an basic idea of what I'm going to talk today or deliberate or what my deliberation is going to be today. It is creative economy and digital transformation. So first, I would like to talk about understanding the creative economy so everyone would get a basic idea of what the upcoming deliberating points are going to be. So the creative economy is anchored in imagination, cultural expression, and innovation. Unlike traditional models, it relies not on finite resources, but on human ingenuity. It democratizes opportunities, enabling small artisans, cultural entrepreneurs, and digital creators to engage in global markets. It's not merely an economic model, it's a mechanism for cultural diplomacy, identity preservation, and future focused growth. So moving on, its global economic impact of the creative sector. So the data is compiling. Its creativity is no longer intangible. It fuels trade, revitalizes cities, and generates sustainable employment. Cultural exports are increasing, outperforming traditional commodities. Cities investing in this sector from Seoul to Lagos showcase how creativity becomes a vehicle for inclusive growth, branding, and competitive advantage in the global economy. So Next, moving on, I have digital transformation in culture. That is what is the main ideology of this deliberation. The technology has revolutionized in the creative landscape. Today, a weaver in a rural area village can showcase work globally, while VR allows us to walk through endangered heritage sites. AI, once futuristic, now co-authors music and design. These tools empower creators, preserve history, and scale cultural accesses. We are not digitalizing art, we are reimagining how culture lives and evolves. As I said, AI enables automation in music, art, and storytelling. VR and AR enhances the cultural preservation and experience. So moving on, policy and investment priorities for G20 nation. So cultural transcends language and ideology through international collaborations, from film co-production to music festivals. Nation crafts stories that resonate globally. Creative diplomacy is a software that binds us, enabling nations to engage constructively and empathetically. G20 nations must not only support but scale such intercultural innovation as a peace-building mechanism. The next is creative economy and international collaboration. So, culture transcends language and ideology through international collaboration, from film co-production to music festivals. Policy must match potential. Creative sectors require not symbolic appreciation but systematic investment, infrastructure, legal protections, and education. So this returns social, cultural, and financially that are profound. So moving on, I would like to conclude by telling in closing, let's affirm creativity is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It generates growth, sustains heritage, and cultivates global empathy. The G20 must lead in forging a global creative compact, a unified vision that ensures cultural expression and digital innovation uplift all humanity. Together, that is, we can shape a world where every culture flourishes and every creator matters. And I would like to thank everyone for listening to me and giving me this opportunity. I think I did justice to what was given to me to talk today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Somebody
If
is
I have
really
made, and if I
want
have
to
made,
really pour it out. Somebody is really wanting to pour it out. I know it is Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams. So please
and
go
ma'am,
ahead.
if I have made any mistake, I would like to know the corrections today, ma'am.
Sure. You will hear a lot. Yes,
No,
ma'am.
I never knew that she was the speaker, but I could see that enthusiasm in her face. It was something like, when is my chance? Something like that. I thought she was one of the hosts, and she was waiting for you to give her a chance. And now I got to know why that enthusiasm. See, her face has changed now. She feels much relieved. It looks like that. I mentioned this earlier also. She'll become a good something where maybe as a professor or something like that, where you can express yourself. I think you will do well in those areas as a career. I wish you all the very best. Your efforts is very visible, and I'm really I appreciate Dr. Srividya for identifying and motivating the youngsters to come forward. Really, hats off to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am.
Yeah, I would like to hear it from Dr. Elena now, please. It's a kudos time for Sri Krishna now. After that, we'll just sum it up.
Oh, very interesting, young people. Thank you very much, Professor Srividya, for motivated young people. Young people, much student is interesting lecture, free free lecture interesting. My support. My support.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Charles, please. Kudos to Shrikisha.
Yes. My support all student.
Yeah.
All you global.
Yeah,
Global
sure.
educator.
Thank you.
Global educator.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes. Mr.
Professor
Charles,
Vasiliki Irina, thank you very much.
Mr. Charles. Oh, he has already given his hearts. Yes, Miss Neha, please.
My smile
Thank
for you.
you.
Muted, muted.
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. I want to say thank you everyone for giving me as an opportunity to interact with all the people. And today the topic was culture. So I can see I have interacted with the people of Nigeria. I have interacted with ma'am in Serbia. I have interacted already with all the people from India, my home country. So it feels like that I am in home and I have met all the people from all across the locations in one geographical space. So thank you so much everyone for the enlightenment session, and specifically to you, Vasanti ma'am. That word has now stuck in my mind. Thank you everyone, all the esteemed speakers and Dr. Srividya. Thank you for all the efforts for bringing us all together on a Sunday weekend, and probably just being grateful that Sunday is a blessed day for me, at least, that I have learned something new.
Sure. Thank you. So with due humility, like if you allow me to contribute something, dedicate something to Sri Krishna, it's in my language. I speak Tamil. And we have got a beautiful scripture which is called as Tirukkural. Many of you would have heard about it, otherwise you can Google it. In that one particular verse is for the children. ஈன்ற பொழுதின் பெரிதுவக்கும் தான் பெற்ற பொழுதை மகிழ்ச்சியினும் மிக மகிழும் தன் மகனை சான்றோன் என கேட்ட தாய். So this will be the plight of Sri Krishna's parents today, because all those praises from different people, like really, you have made yourself proud and your parents proud today, Sri Krishna, on this platform for really.
It was really a pleasure to be here, and the words, it just made me emotional, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're always welcome.
I had only very little time to prepare as
I know that. That's what I was coming to. It was an impromptu, just because we didn't, we usually have some students always on board. This time we didn't have. So since Neha pitched in for host, I said, Sri Krishna, come on, you be the speaker. Come on, you will be deliberating on this. She immediately said, I can do it for digital artificial intelligence related to the culture and sustainability. I will go ahead. That's going to be the one. And she's the only speaker today. Believe me, this to be acknowledged. She was the only speaker who had picked up that pointer, and she had deliberated it so well. Hats off to you, girl. Long way to go ahead. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Well, coming to the creative economy and the digital transformation, driving forces behind the global economy growth. That's what Krisha was, and innovation, Krisha was deliberating. As duly agreed that talking about the creative economy, it will contribute to the cultural industries like music, film, and art, which will contribute to a major factor of economic growth and the cultural diversity. Patronizing innovation and entrepreneurship, this creative economy fosters for the innovation and entrepreneurship, leading to the new products, services, and business models. Exactly. Well, pathway is job creation. It generates major large employment opportunities in various sectors, including the art and the culture. And with the digital transformation, technology advancement, these technologies like AI, blockchain, and the Internet of Things, IoT, transforming industries and creating opportunities. Thereby, it is really making us anew of our own self. When we look at the mirror, okay, fine. That was me before, and this is me now. So we are able to really kudos ourselves with a pat on our shoulders. Thereby contributing for the e-commerce and the digital markets. These digital platforms have enabled global e-commerce and connecting buyers and sellers worldwide, thereby creating a big pathway for the collaboration, with the remote work and collaboration being vogue, that facilitated remote work also, definitely. With the global impact, economy impact, the digital transformation, it has contributed immensely with the global connectivity, and the technologies are moved far and beyond with the innovativeness and the challenges which are involved in it. But we have embraced those challenges as opportunities in terms of digital divide, addressing these, ensuring equal access to the digital technologies. Thereby, we are saying that, okay, fine, if this is a challenge, I'm there to face it, I'm there to combat it. So we have evolved ourselves in this, in terms of cyber threats, ensuring data security, or whatever that comes into the process, and cons, thereby ensuring sustainability is in vogue, and also with the responsible innovation. As we have rights, we always have responsibilities to follow. By harnessing these, definitely it will have a digital transformation to a creative economy, which will drive the economic growth, innovation, and global connectivity. Thank you, Krisha. That was a wonderful presentation indeed. Thank you. Well, we have come to the end of the session, and I think our One Jam session is also over. So moving ahead to sum it up exactly where we started, that culture. And when we talk about the culture, it's always a very integral part of it. And we have learned through the session that it can strengthen cohesion, it can support education, it can encourage cultural diversity, and also stimulate sustainable tourism. Don't forget the key word that we all have learned today. Vasanthi ma'am, please. What's that word?
Slow-madism.
Slow-madism. So that's definitely a key word. So on that note, the cultural creativity help us to recognize our environment in a more different perspective as such. And definitely, this has really shaped up different economical progression on the whole, with a new perspective, such that it is providing ways and ways to live sustainably, and also thereby enhancing our livelihood, and also our livestock, and also the way of living. Definitely, to sum it up, every country and every community, as we're talking about, is strongly tied together, but this intricate tapestry of the individual values and norms and specific history that we have come from the past. Thereby, we are trying to relate it to the future so as to understand our culture, understand them. And speaking to a person in a way is more sensitive. Thereby, if we don't accept them, or we don't learn to respect them with our emotional response, thereby our communications become a huge hassle there. And so that to come out of that hassle, the culture and the impact on the communities, it is so beautiful, multifaceted in me, which gives the strength and identity and the purpose of the people to have this cultural diversification as our strength. Because culture is the name that what people are interested in, their thoughts, in their models, and the books they read, and the speeches they hear. That's what we think about. But the beauty of the world lies in the diversity of the people and the diversity of the culture that we inherit from. And definitely, the culture does not confine to the arts that are being, or the set of beliefs which are being followed. It is a strength that lies in all the indifferences, but definitely not in the similarities. So that's what is the key takeaway, I think. And one of the greatest regrets in life is being what others want you to be, rather than accepting the crucial differences which distinguish the human societies and the human beings by not biological but cultural. So on that note, we sum it up today. Yes, culture plays a big role in taking it forward when we talk about a roadmap of a treasure, boosting economy and price, and it's an equilibrium of the world's economy fabric. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Vasanthi ma'am, would you like to add on there?
I think everything has been summed up. It's been a wonderful session as always. Not just this session, the sessions that I was asked to moderate a session by Professor Zahira, I guess. Dr. Ramesh had asked her, and like that, she spoke to me. And ever since, I think I have never missed any of the sessions, and I felt because I felt each and every session has been very well planned, and there was a lot of takeaways that I personally felt. All the sessions have been good. I can't pick out one and say this was good or something like that. Every session. So thank you so much. And I also observed that Dr. Jelena, Dr. Charles have always been a constant, in these sessions, and I thank them also. They are really a motivation. Thank you so much.
Very true, ma'am. I do agree with that. So, yes, Dr. Elena, please.
Very much. All conference is a beautiful, excellent organization. Excellent organization. Lectures is interesting, interesting people, interesting student, expert, organization, special process globalization, pass and apply globalization, in the connection of different parts of the world. In economic globalization can be defined the process of each business, organization, and countries began operating on international scale. Globalization is most often used in the economic context, but also affects and is affected by politics and cultures, especially education problem. In general, globalization has been shown to increase the standard of living in development countries, but some analysts warn the globalization can have a negative effects and local or emerging economy and individual worker. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear smart Professor Srividya, my dear. Smart. Very, very intelligent. Much knowledge. Much knowledge.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Charles. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So on that note, my sincere thanks to all our community partners, that Global Sustainable Futures, International Internship University, University of Research and Development, Institution of Green Engineers, Good Vision Seva Trust, Amity University Dubai, SRM Group, SIRAM Group of Institutions, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, SRM College of Engineering, Trichinopalli, St. Xavier's College of Engineering, Ishwari College of Engineering, Jain Institute of Engineering, Gracious Legacy Foundation, University of Sustainable for Peace and Hope, and Universal Human Values and Green Brigade. Thank you so much. On that note, we extend our sincere thanks to all our speakers who have joined in today. Dr. Preeta George, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Mona Savan, Ms. Diyung Dalam, and Dr. Jelena Boswick, Dr. Sri Parimala, ma'am, thank you so much. And Dr. Charles, Professor Charles, thank you so much. Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams, it was a great pleasure having you here on this platform today, and it was a wonderful session. So next week, we'll be talking about health. That's what is One Health quadripartite, which is health and wealth, which will in focus of agriculture and food security. On that note, I think we will be having Ms. Krisha as a host. I think so. I'm not sure. If Krisha is free, she will be the host. And on that note, Ms. Neha will be one of the moderators, definitely. So thank you once again. It's a big thank from Srividya. Thanks for Vasanthi Reena Williams, and thanks to everyone who has joined us on this stage. And definitely a big thanks to you all. And when we talk about culture, let's say goodbye and wishing you a happy Mother's Day. Today is Mother's Day from India, so happy Mother's Day to one and all. And Shri
Thank
Kishan,
you.
don't forget to wish your mom happy Mother's Day. You would have
I did.
already done it, I think. Yeah, sure. So happy Mother's Day to one and all again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Until we meet again for yet another one more session. It's bye from Shri Vidya. Thank you. Thanks for all the wonderful
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you, everyone, ma'am. Thank you.
This cannot happen, you know? Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.